Hi everybody, welcome to today at Sci-Port. It's PoP Storytime, and I'm slowly but surely building a following, and these are some of my new friends that have decided to join us, and maybe you'll see other things start popping up as well as we enjoy our books together and activities together moving forward. So today we're going to read a story called Moonbear's Shadow by Frank Asch. Doesn't look like there's any pictures drawn by somebody, so Frank must have done the pictures too. And this book has a dedication. Remember, a dedication is he's written this book and said thank you to somebody or dedicated it to them. It says, to Devin. Must be a friend of his, maybe. All right. Oh, look, there's a bear. What's he doing? Looks like he's got something in his hand. What is that? It's a fishing pole, isn't it? And he looks like he's trying to be putting a worm. Let's find out what he's doing. One day, Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole and a big can of worms. While he was putting a worm on his hook, he looked down and saw a big fish in the water. I'm going to catch that fish, thought Bear to himself. Can you see the fish in the water? You see it there? You think he's going to catch him? Let's find out. There he is. There's Bear with his fishing pole. And he stood up, right? All right, let's find out what happens. But when Bear stood up to throw his line in the water, his shadow scared the big fish away. Look at that. Can you see how his shadow kind of went in the water? And then there goes the fish. He's making a run for it, isn't he? Go away, Shadow, cried Bear. But Bear's shadow would not go away. That sounds like a problem. Oh, what's he doing here? Looks like he's, I don't know, maybe he's making a run for it, Or trying to run? Notice the sun up in the sky? Yeah, there's the sun. Okay, said Bear, if you won't go away on your own, I'll just have to get rid of you. And he put down his fishing pole and began to run. He ran around the pond, and when he got to the other side, he just kept on running. There he goes. See him running? Do you see his shadow? It's like it's followed him, isn't it? You can see his shadow right there? Yeah. Okay, let's find out what happens next. Oh, he's still running, it looks like. He ran through a field of flowers, jumped over a brook, and hid behind a tree. Good, thought Bear. Now Shadow can't find me. I don't see a shadow, do you? I can see the shadow for the flower and the tree, but looks like he outran him. Do you think he outran his shadow? Let's find out. All right. But Bear was wrong. He stepped out from behind the tree. The first thing he saw was shadow. Nearby was a cliff. Big set of rocks that's very, very tall. Bear walked over to the cliff and looked up. I'll climb so high, Shadow won't be able to follow me, thought Bear. You think that'll work? Let's find out. So, Bear climbed higher and higher until at last he pulled himself up to the top. There he is, climbing himself up to the top. And he's doing a pretty good job. Huffing and puffing, he smiled with pride. Then he looked down and saw Shadow. Oh, you can't get away from him. Oh my goodness. What is he doing here? Looks like he's got a hammer and some nails. Oh my goodness. Now Bear was very annoyed. So he went home and got a hammer and some nails and to nail his shadow to the ground. Can you see how he's putting nails in the ground there? Yeah, you think that's going to work? Oh, let's find out. He hammered and hammered and hammered, but no matter how many nails he hammered, he couldn't nail his shadow down. Ugh, all those nails and his shadow is still following him, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Oh, what is he doing here? He looks like he's got an idea. I think he's going to try and... Let's find out. If I can't nail him down, thought Bear, maybe I can bury him. So he got out his shovel and he dug a hole. When the hole was deep and wide, he let his shadow fall inside. Can you see how his shadow's falling inside the hole? Do you think that's going to work? Let's find that out. So then Bear filled the hole with dirt, and when it was finished, it was almost noontime. The sun was high in the sky, and Shadow was nowhere to be seen. At last, sighed Bear. No more Shadow. See how the high is the the sun is high in the sky. At noontime, it's usually like way up in the sky, right? No more Shadow. He must have found a way to hide his shadow. He buried him. Do you think that worked? Let's find out. Oh, but now Bear was very tired. He did a lot of work that day, so I can see I'd be tired. So he went inside and took a little nap. So there he is, taking a little nap in the early afternoon, just after 12 o'clock. Oh, there's the sun in the sky. And notice what's happening in each picture. As the day moves on, what's happening to the sun? Is it in the same spot in the sky? It's not. It's moving. So the sun moves through the sky during the day, doesn't it? While he slept, time passed, and the sun once again cast shadows everywhere. No shadow here. Oh, as the sun starts to move, the shadow starts to creep out. What do you think is going to happen to Bear's shadow? You think it's going to get out? Let's find out. What? Look at that. He opened up the... When Bear got up and opened his door, he saw Shadow on the floor. Oh my gosh. Now you again, not you again, exclaimed Bear. And he slammed the door, hoping to lock the Shadow inside. But Shadow was too quick. He got out. That's not working. Let's see if we can figure out what might work. Sighed Bear. How about this? If you let me catch a fish, he says, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head like this if it's a deal. When Bear nodded his head, Shadow nodded too. Sounds like he's striking a deal, right? Let's find out what happens. Okay, so he's back out. He's got his fishing pole and the worms again. So Bear went back to the pond and once again threw his line into the water. By this time, the sun was in a different part of the sky. Remember how it moves throughout the day? Which made it easy for Shadow to keep his part of the deal. So now Shadow's over here, isn't he? He's not scaring the fish. Do you think he's going to catch that fish now? Let's find out. Oh, look at that. And when Bear caught the big fish, Shadow caught one too. That's a story called Moonbear Shadow by Frank Asch. I hope you enjoyed your story today. If you would like to, you can stick around and we'll show you a short activity that you guys can do at home following the Moonbear Shadow book. Thanks. We'll see you next time. So this is actually part of a kit that we got at Sci-Port as part of the space and solar exhibits that you may have seen on our second floor that explore different science concepts in space. However, we read it today and we're doing it today because you can duplicate it at home very easily. So for instance, the materials you'll need for today's activity is a flashlight. This is the one that comes with it. However, you can use any flashlight that you want, especially the ones that you can kind of twist and kind of make the beam wider or not, because the wider the beam, the better the activity will work for you. So we have 2 handouts. One's a sample activity talking about some additions that you can do beyond just what we're going to do today. You know, we used to do this a lot when we were growing up, you know, making shadow animals and things like that and that sort of thing. And then also an informational piece behind for those of you that are, you know, would like to know a little bit, some basics about the science. You know, this is a handout that we're going to provide for you in both English and we have it in Spanish as well. This is an activity map that came with it. In essence, it's literally just an object, which in this case is a bear, and another object that represents a tree. You can use anything at home. The idea of this activity is to explore shadows. So when we're talking about exploring shadows, we're talking about just like Bear did. He noticed that during the day, you know, when the sun was out, his shadow was scaring the fish. And then throughout the day, you know, at noontime, his shadow disappeared in the hole because he buried it. Well, it's actually because the sun was right above him. And so you can utilize that as a tool to show. So asking things like, how can we make Bear's shadow really short or disappear? How can we make it, well, here it is. How do we make it longer? You know, what happens? So the idea that our shadows are created by the sun, and that as the sun moves across the sky, our shadows change. And during, and this is in your background information, but during the summer, shadows they still move, but they're shorter. But in the wintertime, the sun is lower and the shadows get longer. And so exploring with shadows is the whole object of that. You can use anything with a flashlight. They suggest a box. They could use one of their little toys, a Barbie, you know, a G.I. Joe, whatever, a toy truck, you know, whatever they have. And then one thing that we used to do when we were growing up was we would always use chalk. We would go outside and mark our shadow and draw it out, trace it in the morning. Mom and Dad would draw it or trace it for us. We would come out at noon and trace it again, and we'd stand in the same spot. And then in the afternoon, we'd come out and stand in the same spot, and we would draw it again. And to be able to see it moving throughout the day. So you could even explore the idea of a solar clock and how that works, because it's the same concept and idea. So this is the activity with Moonbear's Shadow by Frank Asch. Thanks for joining us for today at Sci-Port. Hopefully we'll see you again next time, and have a great and safe day. Thank you.